are watching the Blueprint Radio Show with DJ Miss Hennessy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Miss Hennessy TV right here. I am Maxine, aka Miss Hennessy, and I'm very excited to bring you another exclusive interview that I'm very, very glad to finally have with this incredibly talented young man. Now, we've had some hits and misses over the last few weeks because life has gotten in the way. And the last time we spoke was I think a couple of years ago on my radio show, Kuri Radio. We met at a very, very interesting spot. So we'll talk about that. But before I go on, love to introduce you to the incredible BVLE, also known as Bvle, a very, very talented progressive hip hop artist right here in Sydney, Australia. Welcome, brother. It's so nice to see you again.
Thank you so much, Maxine. It's glad to be here. I appreciate you reaching out. It's always good to talk to you.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, it's. I'm so glad to finally connect with you. We've tried, and it's been my fault, people. So yes, he's not being that bougie artist. He's been, yep, I'll be there, and I'm like, not this week. Yep, I'll be there. I'm sorry, I'm sick this week. So thank you for your patience. How have you been, man? How's life treating you?
Good. Life has been lifing.
I like that.
We keep moving. Obviously, there's, I guess, the older you get, the more things that come up, like adulthood.
Yes.
There's no guideline. There's no book on how to do things, and then things just keep coming up, and you just kind of have to face them as they come. So, but yeah, things have been well. I'm grateful for where I'm at, and I know I'm gonna keep improving. So yeah, things are good. What about yourself?
Good for you, man. Look, I'm here, and I agree with you. Life has been lifing, and if we haven't learned how to multitask and hustle over the last couple of years as creatives, then I think we need to get out the game. I think you and I have done all right, though. We've fallen on our feet. We've tried to figure out life post COVID, right?
Yeah.
It's been kind of crazy, but before I get into that with you, you touched on something which made me smile, talking about figuring out this thing called growing up and being an adult, and obviously highlighting the fact that I've been an adult for many, many years. Hopefully the black don't crack, beige don't age thing comes in.
Of course.
Just let the people know, obviously, how old you are and how long you've been doing this thing called hip hop, and just so they kind of get an idea of how long this has been your existence.
So I am 24.
Right.
And I'll say I've been chasing, I guess, this hip hop dream for, it's been like what now? Maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
That I've, like, I guess, actively been on this kind of like path itself. But I guess before, it's, let's say, since 2019, before I probably, like, 2019, 2020, flipped the switch, and it's like, yeah, I'm really going hard after this.
Yeah. Hip hop is and obviously hip hop here in Australia is it's come a long way. I know you and I have spoken about this, when we first kind of connected a couple of years ago. And it's a very different machine now in Australia than it was when I first started, back 25 years now, which makes me 26. No, only joking. Just add on some. But we've been doing it for a while, and it's been really interesting to see the progression. At times there's also been some backward steps, because like with anything that's new to a country, it was really new to Australia when I first started. So it's been amazing to watch artists like yourself come up. 4 years is is still a long time when you're just discovering what it is you want to do. You're kind of coming out of that sort of teenager into that young adult, and all of a sudden thrust into this incredible world where this music genre has just a whole different machine. When I first met yourself, you were ready to go. I called you the TTG, trained to go. You came up, you had your your single pressed and ready to go. There was no need to kind of master, do any of that. You were literally just looking to get your music out there, and an independent machine, which I think that's been a major progression for a lot of artists that started out in hip hop here. So with me saying all of that, I say that to say this, like, even though it's been 4 years for you, you knew how you wanted to enter into this career. You knew that like what you wanted out of this genre. Um, Thinking back on that sort of first interview that we had, and you had a really, really nice set of singles. How's your music changed from then to now? Because there has to have been evolution from then to now.
Yeah, definitely been a lot of evolution, I'd say. Not too much. It's still me, definitely. But I think it's definitely more refined.
Okay.
I've definitely been able to find my sound a lot more because,
Mhm.
like, um, a lot of those tracks even back then, like at the same time they were me, but they're also like experimented. Like you're still I'm still in the process of finding myself, and like I think that's an ongoing process as well.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel a lot more comfortable in where I'm at right now. More, I guess I believe in myself a lot more. I have more confidence in myself, which is good. Um, yeah, like it's. I think, yeah, I think I've just overall gotten better with my writing. I think I've been able to polish it up some more. Um, my production, just like the quality I'm putting out, I think is a bit better now. So
Okay.
yeah, onward and upward.
That's what we like. Excuse me. Onward and upward. Now, one of the singles that you released. Excuse me. I have a little bit of a cough. Excuse me.
Okay.
One of the singles that I really loved,
Mm.
and I kind of found myself playing it quite a bit, is Nobody Else.
Really?
Love it.
Wow.
Love it
That's
so
really.
much. I even
Mm-hmm.
introduced it to my eldest boy because
Mm-hmm.
he's really into like the new style of, sort of hip hop artist. And I do try to have him listen to a lot of local artists as well, because it's important. You've got to listen at home first, right? Before we, obviously, the internationals, they always get a lot of play, but I think Australian artists are just amazing. I think our pool of talent has consistently gotten so world class from the day I started to now. It's just incredible. So, but yeah, Nobody Else, like that single, it just kind of resonated with me. I don't know if it's that kind of easy, laid back vibe of it. It could be your style, like your own vibe. Sonically, it just works, and I love it. And I had it on my rotational playlist quite a bit in the car. So
Wow.
I love that.
I
So people,
appreciate
listen.
that. Mm.
Nobody Else, BVLE, Spotify playlist, get involved. How would you describe your kind of hip hop?
Um, it's I always do kind of find it hard to define because it's
Yeah.
like um sometimes I try and like see where I fit in the picture or like where because obviously hip hop itself has so many subsets and like I'm trying to figure out where exactly do I stand or which artist can I like say similar to um but I guess I have you know on one side I have this kind of you know intimate kind of soulful feel in terms of I like to speak more of my emotions or speak, because at the end of the day, this is kind of like also my therapy. So it's like
Yeah.
when I do write, I kind of speak a lot from how I feel and from inside. So I guess I have that aspect to it, but I also love a bump. You know, I love music that makes me
Yeah.
move. Um, at sometimes I can take it slow and just like really just let you hear what I'm saying. Other
Mm.
times I want you to just vibe with me. Um, but it's really hard to say where exactly, but I think sometimes it depends even on how I'm feeling. Yeah,
Mm.
I have some R&B aspects to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes there might even be a little bit more Afro side to it, like. But like I think when it comes to like the foundational stuff, it would I guess have that hip hop platform. But in terms of like the building blocks or
Mm.
I put on top of it, it really just depends on how I feel, my mood, the beat, and stuff like that. So I like to be
Absolutely.
kind of like dynamic in how I do things. I can't see
Mm.
myself staying in this one box or in this one position and just doing this.
Yeah.
I just create.
That's what's up.
just
And you know what? You shouldn't, as an artist, you shouldn't ever want to be sort of boxed in,
Mm,
because that's when it becomes really challenging for you to maybe even sort of merge into other genres and see what else your strength is. I mean, it's hard to be sort of pigeonholed in any aspect of a creative industry. And I think for a lot of us, sort of, when the entertainment industry really crashed the last 2 years, it was really hard for so many of us, performers and musicians, producers, DJs, and the like, to really lean back on anything, because it made me realize what an absolute luxury um, our chosen fields are to
mm,
the general public. And when I say that, I mean you have to want to book a DJ to experience a party with a DJ. You have to want to go out to see a live show to experience a live artist. And if we're not there, what did people really have?
mm,
In terms of entertainment outside of Netflix and obviously, like sort of TV and stuff like that. I know Twitch really would have gotten a lot of gains with
yeah.
with streaming DJs, but it wasn't the same. It's not the same as getting dressed, getting your mates, going out and watching a great show, a great artist, a DJ, the whole deal. So um, what was it like for you? How did you use the downtime um, to kind of work on your craft? What was it like for you?
Um, it was interesting. At first it was like, okay, cool. I have this time to really just hone in on what I'm doing, just like continue creating. But then after a while, it got to this point where you hit like a plateau, like you
Yeah.
just hit a block, and it's like I can't even create anymore.
Yeah.
You're not because obviously as creatives we draw from what's happening around. We draw from experiences, but when every day is starting to fizzle into the same, your weeks are starting to fizzle together and
Like
everything
Groundhog Day.
exactly literally that's exactly what it is. You wake up and you know what's about to happen, like it's
It's like,
uh,
what's the premiere going to say this week?
yeah, literally. I think some people are taking bets on like what they're gonna say because like it's
100%,
so
man.
predictable. um so yeah, like it was definitely I definitely hit writer's block after a
Mm,
while, and I just was didn't have the ability to create as much as I would like to.
mm,
um I did like try and still be uh try and still take advantage of it. Try to still take advantage of the time. Like if I couldn't create new things, I try and refine old things. So I try
yeah.
and learn new things. Like I might sit on YouTube learning different stuff about this and that. I might try and upgrade some stuff I'm doing now. So I did still try and stay involved in one way or the other. If I can't create new, let me refine the old. Let me,
That's what's
keep
up.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. I think a lot of us had to do that. And I'm so glad you mentioned that writer's block thing, because
Mhm.
seriously, like being a writer myself, obviously not a songwriter, but, you know, writing books and writing essays, because I'm studying as well. Like, I literally couldn't stand the sight of a word. I know that might sound really like dramatic, but when you focus on doing that all the time, they got to a point where there had to be an end point at some stage. So that Groundhog Day feeling was relentless. Plus having to be at home, like with my kids sort of homeschooling, and then trying to teach online as well with my students. And it was really interesting, to just sort of see how the human mind kind of stretched and filled that time, um, like effectively. I loved being home, though, I'm not going to lie. I did enjoy the working from home aspect and the feel of it. So it was actually quite challenging for me to assimilate back into society when they were like, okay, you're free to go. I was like, really, now? Do I have to now? Like, it was like a scene out of, what was that zombie show? The one where they would go out and try and find them, they'd have to fight all the zombies. I forget it, but it would went for like 1,000 seasons. I loved it at one stage. It'll come back. That's it. It felt like an episode of The Walking Dead every day, and you'd like, oh, can you go out? But we're out now, and we're doing things. So how's that been for you? Are you performing? Are you doing live shows? Like, what's currently happening with you?
So I guess, yeah, I have been able to get much on stage, but I was able to, not too long ago, there was this show happening called Killing Kylie Jenner, which was pretty
Okay.
popular, that was going on.
I heard about. I never got to see it. It sold out like literally
Yeah,
all the time.
it's crazy how quickly the tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty big. I think they went around Australia.
yeah.
And then my friend hit me up, like it was very last minute, about like they had, after like the show, they'd have like some kind of like sit down with like poetry and stuff like that, and asked me to do one of my songs. And I was
Nice.
initially, I was gonna just like read it out, but then they had like a little band, so I ended up, it was very like last minute and very,
Nice.
yeah, ended up doing like some acoustic version, and I think it really resonated with a lot of people, and
Yeah.
they really loved it. And also, I found out today that I might be performing on the 28th of May as well. So that's exciting, very
That's
exciting.
what's
That's
up.
so exciting, yeah.
Where were you? So where are you performing? Where is that going to be happening?
It's gonna be in Petersham. I forgot the actual venue. I only just found out today, but
That's what's up.
yeah, it should be, yeah, it should be fun. I haven't been on stage in ages, so yeah, it should be
That's so cool. Oh, congratulations. How do you what are your thoughts on performing live? Because obviously you're not an emerging artist. I'm not going to say that, because or can I say that? Do
I
we
think
call you
so.
emerging?
Yeah, I still think I'm definitely would be in the emerging class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. And that's, that's what I like about you, B, is that you're very humble about everything. You're very, and you sort of like, you're growing organically with your craft. And I think that's the best way to do it, because too many people peak too soon. They come out hard, they might have like a killer single, it does the numbers, and then the pressure of that. And obviously we're living in an incredibly numbers driven industry society right now. I think that kind of stuff, when you peak too soon, you kind of miss the lessons along the way. So, you know just, yeah, you've always kind of been, for like for the short amount of time that I've kind of come to know you, every time we kind of connect or I see what you're doing, it's like you're enjoying the process.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say, trust the process. And yeah, like it's a big journey, and I
Yeah.
guess at times it can be tough as well. At times you do feel some of the pressure,
Mm.
but I think what a lot of people say is that journey is really the best part, really, because it's where um, you grow so much. You have so many little experiences and mini wins, and I've been learning, you know, more and more to appreciate those little wins, because I think a lot of times like you get this win and then you just look past like, okay, next thing, like next thing, next thing. There's so many. You feel like there's so many steps ahead. But you know, appreciating, you know, you're only looking at the end goal, you know, appreciating that, you know, you've just gone a step further, you know, you're one step up. So um that's, I think that's a big part of enjoying and appreciating the journey that you're going on. Just appreciating every step that you're taking.
That's what's up. Well, you know, I think you have to. Because yeah, it's one hell of a ride. So if you're going to be in it for life, you kind of you want to enjoy each year as it comes and whatever it gives. Now, just for, obviously for people that might not know who you are, or obviously want to get to know a little bit about you, can we talk a little bit about your backstory? You know, who is BVLE? Uh, you know, where do you come from? Where are you based? What's your feeling on being a hip hop artist in Australia versus the world? All of that kind of stuff. But we'll start small. So, based in Sydney, family. Where's the family from, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, based in Sydney. Right now residing like near Parramatta.
Yeah.
Originally from Nigeria.
Okay, that's what's up.
Originally from Nigeria, moved here when I was 4. Pretty much grew up here my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously blessed to be here.
Yeah.
Miss home a little bit. I want to go back soon.
Yeah. There's a lot of amazing things happening in Africa right now, and it's musically, yo, like people don't know, they're sleeping on us. They don't even understand, you know.
The talent is crazy.
Would do you think you'd like want to, I mean, obviously this is like a really silly question because your answer's probably going to be yes, but I have to ask it. Would you consider collaborating with some?
Oh,
they'd be crazy, man.
Like probably my favorite artist right now is Thames.
Yes, he's amazing.
Oh, the soul in her voice is
yeah,
is mental. I would
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like, she's amazing to me.
And I thought that was interesting, that her vocals on that song with Justin Bieber.
Oh no, Justin Bieber. Okay.
The one with Justin, right?
Yeah.
The original one was her, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then obviously I know Justin came in and kind of did his flavoring. I mean, all respect to Justin, but then like the single became more about his involvement as opposed to her, and it was Justin Bieber and her. And I'm kind of like, yo, you know what? We need to flip that, because without him, she carried that, like the vocals of it.
Yeah.
So she's fantastic. Now she's got quite a following.
Yeah. And it's growing, thankfully. I think she's finally like getting her flowers like properly. I know the second I heard her, I was like, this girl's gonna be massive.
Yeah,
and then, the next year I saw featured from Drake, and then it just kept going and going. I'm like, thoughts.
It's so exciting. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I hope you do get some sort of collaboration thing happening, because I think, you know, it's a continent that you know, people shouldn't sleep on, because it's where, you know, real rhythm was really born at the end of the day. I look at, you know, I'm South African born, and I look at what comes out of South Africa on the daily, and the talent is ridiculous. But it's like they're just cool to kind of do it there for them and for that world, because it's such a big world that the rest of the world wants to get a look in because of what they're creating. So do you carry a little bit of your ancestry in your music? You may make sure you embed that in there.
Yeah, definitely like to, because at the end of the day, I do speak a lot about, you know, my past as well, and my, you know, so I also will speak about, you know, where I'm from.
Yeah.
Afro beats. I listen to so much Afro beats as well, so there's always a little bit of influence like I'm not that great at like pidgin English,
Yeah.
but like if I can, I'll throw a little small in there, you
Little
know.
bit.
Yeah,
Just a bit.
just as much as you can. Like, um,
Tease them with it a bit.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think I really want to be able to connect, and it'd be amazing. Like,
Yeah.
if you know, if I was able to go and do a show, then have you know,
Yeah.
be able to connect with them on that level would be absolutely insane.
Listen, you're out here doing it anyway. We ain't going to stop you from being great. We're going to support you, and just you keep making amazing music. I mean, that's all you got to do. I've mentioned Nobody Else, which of course I said was one of my favorite tracks of yours. You've got quite a few songs. I don't know if I'm pronouncing them correctly, but let me know. Can Promise I'll Wait.
Mm, yeah.
All In,
Mm-hmm.
featuring Pretty Ugly and Taysun.
Mm-hmm.
Bvle,
Dead.
Devd, yeah,
Dead. So the
Dead. And
yeah.
then FGS, is that right? Okay, cool. Each one of them is very different from the other, right? But you've been able to kind of consistently maintain your flow, your stance throughout it all. Where do you see this going? Obviously, you love music, and we've mentioned collaboration, obviously, with back home. Artists here in Australia, are you in connection with a lot of the local artists? Do you see collabs in your future? What's
Yeah.
what's the future hold for you?
Yeah, I'm loving the scene here and how it's progressing and building up and growing, and I think there's a lot of talent in
Yeah,
Australia. Um, from like the hip hop artists here to the R&B artists, everyone's really doing their thing, so it's
yeah,
really great to see. Yeah, I definitely love to collab with
mm,
some artists out here. I do generally like to be when there's like different shows and stuff like that. I'm generally around. I love to like watch other people do their thing and like try and be in support.
yeah,
And yeah, so I know there's definitely going to be things in the pipeline, and definitely connecting,
yeah,
speaking to other people, building relationships with everyone. So
yeah.
um, where as far as where things will go, you know,
Sky's the limit.
exactly. Really, yeah, it's I can't put it to say to this point would be capping myself. So
100%.
um as far as I'm allowed to go, I would love to go. So
That was a trick question, right? And you answered well. I just wanted to see what you'd say. Cap that
yeah.
one. You can't. No, you can't cap yourself. I mean, even people sort of ask, where do you see yourself in a year from now?
Mm,
We've seen what the last 2 years have given us, from not planning to the world going, yeah, we're just going to stop everything and you'll figure it out. It's like we all got grounded for 2 years and had to figure out, what did we do wrong and what can I do better? And so I think from here on out, if we've come through what we've come through, there should be no holding anyone back. If you want to write that book, go write that book. You want to collab with artists back in Nigeria, go do that. And because you're great, and don't let anybody tell you you're not. So um yeah, I'm very excited for things that's sort of happening for you. Um, just keep releasing really good music, though I can add some more things to my Spotify playlist.
appreciate it. That's the plan.
And be that cool mom, and introduce my 13-year-old to awesome artists like yourself. But yeah, man, just always really nice to connect with you, and yeah, it's nice to see you still have that kind of positive, easygoing vibe. The humility is still there, and yeah, I'm glad you're still doing it. So thank you for tonight and
Thanks
for
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 having
making
me.
it happen.
I appreciate this talk.
Anytime, anytime. And we'll check back in real soon
Sure, for sure.
and see what's up. But until then, stay safe, and just, yeah, keep on creating, bro.
Thank you. Peace out.
Anytime, anytime.
Blood Juice Films.
Girl, with you I'm trying to share my heart, I don't have a spare. More than cute, you're kinda rare. I don't need nobody else. No, there's things that I have said. No, it seems that I don't care. You won't drop another tear. I don't need nobody else. 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 I don't need nobody else.
Thinking of a life without you is not what I'm about. Though there's times when I'm in doubt, when we argue, when we shout. Building life together, gradual, scaling up the mount. At the top, no, we look out, see negativity blocked out. Mary, Keisha, and the other, we'll just call her what's the face. They ain't never held a dollar, held a second of my day. No, you sitting and you ponder what I'm doing when I say hit you back in just 1 hour and you end up waiting 3.
Girl, with you I'm trying to share my heart, I don't have a spare. More than cute, you kinda rare. I don't need nobody else. No, there's things that I have said. No, it seems that I don't care. You won't drop another tear. I don't need nobody else. 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 I don't need nobody else.
Me and you against the world. I've been around, so nobody can compare to. You're my side, baby mama, and my girl. That's why I don't need nobody else.
So I've done a lot of drugs to help the pain. I've seen it all, I've dealt with shame. When I'm with you, it felt okay, yo. And I can't really blame it on the women. I can't blame it on the distance. Should've never messed with feelings, no. I always thought we'd be a no-go. I feel like you creep around the city on the low-low. I know I got trust issues. I looked all through your photos. I apologize, but that ain't no excuse for being local. Where we go though? How am I hoping you forgive me when I can't forgive myself? I don't care about where the party at or care about your wealth. I know that you think I'm out here, that I move around with stealth. I don't care about none of these bitches. I don't need nobody else.
Girl, with you I'm trying to share my heart, I don't have a spare. More than cute, you kinda rare. I don't need nobody else. No, there's things that I have said. No, it seems that I don't care. You won't drop another tear. I don't need nobody else. 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 Nobody else, nobody else, nobody else. Nobody else, nobody else, nobody else.
Me and you against the world.
Nobody, Bvle.